Alright, and what are we even doing here? Are we playing against some sort of commander deck built around Mirim Sentinel Worm? I mean, this is just ridiculous. Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft. We've got another Baldur's Gate draft in store for us today. Let's dive right in. We've got a lot to read because our rare is the card that has a scrolling text box. 6 mana 5/6 Flying Ward 2. Already pretty good. Pay 2 to discard a card, tap a non-land permanent, draw a card. Then you can exile 2 other cards, so that won't happen. When you do, return this to the battlefield. When you discard this, conjure a card, 7th from the top. There's a lot going on there, and I have no idea if it's any good. It seems good, it's just a lot of blue mana. So I don't know how much I want to dedicate that much to blue early. There's a minimus containment here, and what I think is one of the best 2 colors, white and black, are the best in my opinion. I think this white is second best, currently for me. There's also Owlbear Shepherd, which is pretty good in green. Look, if this were like even 4 blue, I might consider it. But because it's so heavy on the blue mana, I think I'm just going to pass that up and take the removal spell in white here. That could be wrong, but also, quite frankly, I just didn't really want to have to read that as much as I did every single time I cast that stupid card. Alright, let's see here. We've got a 5 mana 4/4 specialized. When it attacks, another target attacking creature gets +X/+O. At least 4, could be more. And then it flips, it can get Vigilance, Lifelink, Flying. Those things are pretty good. There's also just a Blessed Hippogriff to stay white. And I think I might do that. It's a 4 mana 2/3 flying. And when it attacks, it gives another creature flying that's attacking. But it has an adventure. For 1 white mana, you can give a creature indestructible, which is pretty good. There's also a Pilgrim's Eye, which is good. Dreadland Orm's been impressive, to be honest. Meteor Golem in certain ramp decks. Two-Handed Axe in very aggressive decks. Could be okay. I haven't seen this on the battlefield yet, but I'm going to go ahead and just stay white here. And now, the only white card is Flaming Fist Duskguard, which in aggressive decks is pretty good. And we are looking to be probably pretty aggressive so far. But it's the only white card. There's also Hobgoblin Captain, which I think is better than Duskguard. There's Warcaller, which is pretty good in red-white aggro. There's Ghoul, Dreadland Orm, Ambitious Dragonborn, Draconic Muralist. All these are like some decent green cards, but they don't really go with our first 2 picks. Not that we're married to this, but I think it's between Duskguard and Captain. Warcaller could be pretty good as well. I'm just going to stay white for now. I didn't think there was an enormous difference between those cards to have to branch out to a different color. Now, unfortunately, there's straight up 0 white cards in this pack. So it looks like we might have to be looking towards something else here. Chartland Dragon, I don't know how you pronounce it. Decent in dragon decks if you're low on dragons. There's a Deadly Dispute, which I like. There's a Shambling Gas, which I like. Horde Robber's fine in like red-black. Basilisk is a fine 2-drop in green. I think I'm going to land on Ghast here. I have liked black-white as an archetype. And maybe we can fill out our white in the second pack. But Shambling Ghast seems like a pretty good black card to be taking here. Valiant Farewell is a white combat trick, which is fine, but there is Sewer Plague. So this effectively kills any X3 as long as you cast this on an end step, because it is an instant. Perpetually gets -2/-2 in the beginning of each upkeep. It gets another -1/-1, so it can kill an X3, and then it can slowly shrink X4s and 5s. There's Valiant Farewell, but I'm just going to take the Sewer Plague. I think we're getting cut off of white, and just as I say that, we get Patriarch's Humiliation and Ranger Squadron, which both of which I like. There's also Kaga Shadow Archdruid. 4 mana 1/4, gains Death Touch till end of turn, and you mill 2 cards when you attack with it. Once during each of your turns, you may play a land or cast a permanent spell from among cards in your grave that are put there this turn. That seems fun, but if there were no white cards in this pack, I would take that and potentially go down green-black. But Patriarch's Humiliation's been a pretty good removal spell. We only have 3 creatures so far, but we're probably going to have plenty. And Ranger Squadron, I'm just going to lean on the 1-drop over the 6-drop, really. There's a lot of good green here. Druid of the Emerald Grove is really good. 4 mana 2/2 draws 2 lands and has the potential to put some on the battlefield. Herdgorger's great. Owlbear's great. Provocation's good in red-black. Dispute. This deck could be open. I think white is passing us by quickly. So I regret taking the Humiliation over the green-black card, but maybe that was just a very white-heavy pack. I think this is between Druid and Owlbear, and I'm going to take the Druid here over the Owlbear. That could be wrong again, but this one draws 2 cards. That one draws 1 card. Maybe that's the difference. Guardian Naga, the only white card. Not one I'm particularly interested in getting. Like, it's a good card if it resolves, but it's 7 mana. I think I'll take another Ghast here. Summon Undead could be good in green-black, but I think we can get this pretty late if we want it. So let's take Shambling Ghast. Scaled Nurturer, really only good in dragons. It's not bad in another deck. It is a 2-mana ramper. You just don't gain the life if you don't cast a dragon with it. Hook Horror, much better in sacrifice decks. We can take the Nurturer here and see where to go from there. Meteor Golem if we're trying to ramp. Iron Golem, I have not liked. Hook Horror, Poison the Blade. I mean, Poison the Blade is pretty good with double Shambling Ghast. I mean, we're not really ramping to Meteor Golem just yet. Guess I'll take the Sepulchre Ghoul here. Clutches, Druidic Ritual. Mill 3, return a creature and a land. It's pretty good. 3 mana is a little expensive, but... So, white was incredibly cut from us, so we're going to have to keep that in mind. Flames of Mirrodin. No, it's just an artifact. Artifact killer. Don't need that. In white, there's a couple of decent-ish cards. Nothing great. But there's another Druid of the Emerald Grove here. So I think I'm going to take that. Deadly Dispute, Grim Wanderer, probably both fine. Ettercap is not a bad one of. But we're going to take the Emerald Grove here. What does this do? Look at the top 4. Your library, choose one of them, put all cards with the same name as the chosen card into your hand. You lose a life for each card in your hand this way, the rest on the bottom. Much more of a constructed card. Much more of a dragon build around there. We have 1 dragon, so not great here. Dispute is fine. I do like the gates. Is that any better than like our first Basilisk here? Or like a You Line Up the Shot is also quite good because it's very flexible. Could give you a plummet or a naturalize or draw a card. Maybe this wheels. The gate could be correct, but I don't know. 2 drops are pretty effective, and this one's very, very good. Another one of these. No thank you. There's a Pilgrim's Eye. There's a gate. There's a You Line Up the Shot and a Prophetic Prism. I think I'm going to move white to the sideboard here now. Maybe we can splash Minimus Containment. I don't know. But I think here it's between the gate and the Pilgrim's Eye and the Prism. The Prism can enable some splashes, but so can Pilgrim's Eye. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Pilgrim's Eye here. That can enable a splash if we want to try to splash Containment or something like that. Nefarious Imp has been impressive, but I'm not sure this is the deck for it. I mean, we're not really doing much treasure things. Orb of Dragonkind. No, it's a ramper, but it ramps to dragons ideally. Summon Undead. We don't really have the creatures we want to reanimate right now. I guess I'll just take the flyer here. Another provocation, but I think that ship has sailed. And that's just like a little chaos effect. So we'll take the imp here. A ghoul, an owlbear shepherd, prophetic prism, another provocation. Yeah, maybe red-black was the deck. But here's a ghoul. Owlbear Shepherd is good, but the problem is, like, look at the power of our creatures right now. It's like nothing. We're going to have to find a couple of Hill Giant Herd Gorgers or something to make this even remotely worth it. But it's very good if you can, and I'm going to try... I mean, if our deck is going to be good at all, we have to find some of those bigger creatures. So I'm going to take... Oh my god, another provocation. Come on. I'm going to take it in the hopes that we can find bigger creatures. And maybe Baleful Beholder is just, like, fine in this deck. We don't really have big threats right now, so I'd prefer not to play that. But if we have to, maybe we have to. Corlessa. Big expensive removal spell. Another Scaled Nurturer. So I'm going to prioritize some of the 5... Oh, I love Guildsword Prowler. That's a great pick. 8. 2 mana, 2/1 Death Touch. When it dies, if it wasn't blocking, draw a card. It's really, really good. Wouldn't mind playing a Meteor Golem now that we have 2 Nurturers as well. Take Deadly Dispute here. We're on the wheel. There's a chance we see a Prophetic Prism, but I doubt it. This is really good with Prism. It's really good with Ghast as well, if you've played any Standard. So we have the gate that wheeled, and you line up the shot that wheeled. So I think green-black is the color for our seats. We're just not seeing the good cards. I'm going to take the gate, because we didn't take the other one. And I think we could get another you line up the shot. You line up the shot here next pick, potentially. So we just got to hope we get paid off in pack 3 for opening good green and black cards, because I think we are the only green-black drafter at the table. We just have to get some of the good cards for the archetype, because currently we do not have them. Provocation all the way is going to be pick 13. No one in red-black. What a shame. That's crazy. Second to last pick and last pick provocation. What do we have here? 3 mana instant. Permanency control gain, hexproof and indestructible. Seek a creature card if an opponent has cast a spell with a mana value 3 less this turn. No, that's not for us. I mean, there is Black Dragon here, and I think this could be a Black Dragon deck. We do have double Scaled Nurturer. And Black Dragon is a pretty good top-end card. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to take the Black Dragon. And here we have Guildsworn Prowler number 2. We have a 6 mana 4/4 flyer, but I don't think we're that desperate for dragons. There's another inspiring, not another, but there is an Inspiring Bard, which is okay. There's Ettercap, which is decent against flyers and things. But I'm going to take the Prowler here again. I really like this card. It's so good. Interesting pick here. There's Rasad, which is an insane splash. Because we could flip it into giving us a 4/1 or giving us 2 2/2s. We don't have a great way to splash yet. Yumina Tavern's fine. Vampire Spawn is good. Circle the Land Druid. I think I'm going to try to high roll and splash Rasad here. It's such a good card. We could splash these things off of Underseller Myconid. This is a great pack here. What does this one do? With a mana ability? So like the Nurturers? And maybe the Myconid? I don't think that's for us though. We're probably going to wheel something out of this pack. I would not mind another Prowler. And Ettercap is not an awful card, but we're going to take the Myconid to try to splash these couple of white cards here. And we did... Oh my god, we could have like 6 provocations in this deck. This is a really, really difficult... Oh my gosh, I just noticed the Skullport Merchant. Skullport Merchant, Sewer Plague, Hill Giant Herd Gorger. I want all of them. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do here. Our deck really needs something like this, but Skullport Merchant is just such a busted card. We have to take Skullport Merchant, right? Probably taking another Basilisk. Drider has not impressed. Thieves' Tools, Horde Robber. We'll just take the 2-drop here. Not bad. I think we can play this one. This is a little bit more aggressive, but it works really well with Guildsworn Prowlers and things like that. Ettercap. I mean, I wouldn't mind having an Ettercap in this deck. We've just seen better cards every time. Sepulchre Ghoul number 3 might not be awful. Guildsworn Prowler. Oh, okay. I'm going to take the Herd Gorger here over the 3rd Prowler. I think this really helps our top end. Now we have Skanos, we have Black Dragon, and Herd Gorger here. I think I'm going to go ahead and take that. Don't think I'm playing into this. Maybe we could play the Pit Trap because we're low on removal. I don't think Dragon is what we're looking for. Deadly Dispute. Maybe? Druidic Ritual, don't need 2. Ettercap. I'm going to take the Dispute because we do have like a Pilgrim's Eye and a couple other things. Now we've got, look at our curve. I think we have a ton of 2-drops. We probably don't need another Basilisk. ETB's Mill 4, dies, return a land. Probably don't need that. I think I'm going to go with the Ettercap over the 3rd Basilisk. We have a lot of 2-drops. I don't think I need 2, though. So we'll do this. Yeah, look at these cards that are... Oh my gosh, last pick Provocation again. Okay. Well, it flew us by, but that's all right. We correctly read the table to know that green-black was the deck for this seat. So that's really all you can hope for sometimes, and just sometimes you don't really open the power, which I don't think we did necessarily here. Lots of cuts to make. We only have Containment and Sewer Plague, and I don't like this, I don't like that. Everything else up here seems okay. I don't think we need Ritual or Poison the Blade. We have double Basilisk already. We are a little low on removal, so I wouldn't mind playing a Pit Trap. 23 creatures. Wow. I don't know what the ghouls are really doing in our deck necessarily. I mean, they're decent with like Shambling Gas. They're decent with Pilgrim's Eye. But I mean, the way we're going to win is like Black Dragon, Herd Gorger, card advantage, things like that. So these ghouls are just not really doing it. I could probably keep 1. Is the Owlbear Shepherd good? I mean, it's only good if we drop one of, like, Herd Gorger, maybe Black Dragon. I don't think it's that great in this deck. I mean, Skanos is kind of good. Or when does it trigger? End step? So it's good with Skanos because that goes to the end step and it's still going to get +X+O. We could turn this into... Oh, come on. I keep clicking through. Gets Menace. And this one also gets Menace. And we can also turn it into Vigilance and give something else. Pseudo-Vigilance on the other thing. So which is pretty good with Owlbear Shepherd. But that's 2 cards that make it good. Otherwise, it's not great. We are a little light to flyers, so I don't mind playing an Ettercap here. We probably don't need double Deadly Dispute now that we have a Skullport Merchant. 1 is probably fine. I think I want to keep the Pit Trap. I'd like to keep both of these. Is the Nefarious Imp doing much for us here? I don't think it is. We don't have a ton of treasure or anything. I'm going to get rid of the Imp. Probably don't need 3 of those. This is 17. We have Pilgrim's Eye and Myconid and 2 planes to cast these 2 cards, as well as double Druid. And a couple treasures maybe. So we have definitely enough ways to cast these cards here. In fact, we probably are good with just 1. Because now we have Pilgrim's Eye and Myconid. We have the Plains. We have double Druid. We have treasures off of this. We have treasure off of that. So there's plenty of ways. We have treasure off of this. There are ways to cast it off of one here. Okay, I'm not super excited about the deck, but I think we read the table effectively, which is what you want to do in the draft portion. Now let's play the deck as well as we can to get as many wins as we can out of it. Not bad here, so we're going to go Ghast into Nurturer. Into Plague, probably. Don't like that. Perpetually get +1/+1 in their hand. That's kind of busted. Can specialize it for 2. Make it like a 3/3 lifelinker. Give something else lifelink. Or double striker. Wow. That's certainly a good card. We're going to have to kill that. Let's see if they go ahead and specialize it here. I'm sure they do. Okay. 2/3 double strike. Yeah. So we could Minimus Containment that, but I don't want them to get the ramp right now. So we could Sewer Plague on their before combat to make this a 0/1 double strike. Skullport Merchant is also good. Really good with Ghast and things, but I need to get rid of this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then as they get to combat, I'm going to try to Sewer Plague that. Hopefully they don't have a combat trick. Alright. Double team. No blocks. Take 0. And then it dies. So now we have access to 5 mana. So we can go Merchant. We can go Prowler plus Containment, but I don't know how much I would like to contain that so they don't get the double team trigger, I guess. And that's the most mana efficient thing we can do. Let's just do that. Let's play Prowler. And then get for 1 there. They do get ramp, potentially, but they don't get the double team off of their soldiers. Monk of the Open Hand is now a 2/2. They had another one in hand. Alright, let's get in here. Let's just drop Gorgeous George here. Hopefully no Minimus Containment. That's probably as bad. What does this even do? Is it an arrest? Yeah. Man, it's Soldiers of the Watch day and night. Yeah, we're just gonna have to kill that. I actually think I want to kill this one so they don't get the double team. I know it leaves a 3/2 as opposed to a 2/1, but I don't want them to get the double team off of that. Let's do Pilgrim's Eye into Skullport Merchant. Okay. Playing against mono Soldiers of the Watch here. Oh my god, Rasad. This deck is ridiculous. Probably going to do Skullport Merchant. I guess we're going to sacrifice this thing. Here come the lands, so I don't think this will work out effectively for us. Yep, there we go. You know how it is. Alright, gotta get on blocking duty with Guildsworn Prowler. Yep, they just... Liara. Okay. Yeah, we were never winning this game. Look at this deck. This is an extremely aggressive format I've found. Like... Red-black aggro is good. Red-white aggro is good. White-black can be aggressive. Yeah, we're just getting absolutely trounced here. So with that in mind, we'll go on to game number 2. Before we hop into the next game here, I wanted to remind you that a subscription to the channel is always greatly appreciated. I mean, hey, if you made it this far in the video, clearly you're enjoying something, so giving back in even such a small way as a subscription or even a like on the video will go a long way for the growth of the channel and my ability to produce more high quality content for you all. It's absolutely free and will never cost you a dime, and then you'll have access to the most consistent high quality MTG Limited content on YouTube. Thanks so much for your consideration, and now back to the draft. Okay, great hand here, keeping this one, obviously. 2-drop into whatever we want. We'll go from there. Yeah, the double team mechanic on the aggressive decks here means they just never run out of cards. I mean, they had like 3 Soldiers of the Watch that drew like 3 more of them in the last game. So they had like 3 extra cards in their hand. Drew that out of order. Barbarian. I think because of that, I'm going to go with Merchant here. Would prefer not to trade Basilisk for it. If they attack with Barbarian, I don't think I can block. It's a good one. Alright, just like that, we're out of gas. Go ahead. Gotta hope Merchant survives so we can get some extra cards back because we're drawing all the lands again. Go to combat. Hit for 1. Pass it back and hold up Merchant here. All right. We could do this and sacrifice Pilgrim's Eye to draw another card. And because of what's in our hand, I think I'm going to do it because we do not have a lot of gas here. Okay. Let's do Druid. Yeah, we are thinning out the deck hard here, aren't we? So we have 11 lands already out of our deck. We're just not doing much else. That's the problem with this deck here. Oh my god. Well, GG. We'll lose to Miram Sentinel Worm. 6 mana, 6/6 Flying Ward 2 that copies all of their dragons. And the only way I can think to deal with that is Sewer Plague, which is going to take much longer than it needs to. Yeah, you do your thing. I mean, I guess we could do this. We have to try to start pressuring their life total because we're on a 3-turn clock because of Miram now. So let's attack, I guess. Oh, look what it is. Well, I guess we're going to try to specialize this. Menace or Vigilance? I think Menace is what we want. Let's hope it doesn't get Faraday's Fireballed. Okay, let me go to combat. Alright. So when it attacks, another target attacking creature gains Menace and +X/+O, where X is its power. Get in with all of this and probably give it here. Now it's a 6/1 Menace. They have something. What are they doing here? Oh, they're going to have Dread Lenorm on Miram. Yep. There it is. And go ahead and kill that. We only have 5 lands in our last 20 cards. And I guess we'll kill the 1/1. They get double Lozan, but it's a legendary, but it doesn't matter because this gets around the legendary rule. And now if they cast another dragon, they probably win. Now they can just throw around 2 damage to 2 different things, and we'll lose to a bomb rare. Let's hope we don't go 0-3 in this one here. Alright, we'll keep this one here. We have all of the mana needed for Black Dragon, because I'm sure there's 3 more lands on the top of the deck here. Plus Pilgrim's Eye will find us another one. So, we'll go Guildsworn Prowler. It's a good draw. Would not mind finding, what's it called? The 4 mana 2/2 thing that gets some cards, gets some lands. It'd be a really good draw. So let's do this. Go Pilgrim's Eye. Take action for our planes. All right. Combat. They don't have priority. We can only cast Basilisk. So I'm going to do Basilisk plus the tap land here. Okay. So they don't have 7 mana. This is just a 4/4 and it trades with Basilisk. So what I'm going to do is just get on the board with this and then hold back Basilisk. And we have the removal for that if we want it. I mean, next turn if we draw a land, we're just going to do this because it's basically all we have. We could specialize that, but let's see. I hate this card so much. We get to play Hearthstone now. They have their own Basilisk. So I think now we have to Containment and Prowler. So let's start by attacking. We don't have to contain that though because we have black. No, Black Dragon's -3/-3. I thought it was -4/-4. So we're gonna get rid of that thing. Play a Guildsworn Prowler and cross our fingers. So again, this thing means that whenever damage is dealt to any of our creatures, it stays on it and doesn't clean up at the end of our turn. There's Owlbear. Okay, go to damage, and I guess we're just going to kill their Basilisk here. Alright, down goes Black Dragon. Down goes Basilisk. Here's some more lands. Let's see what we find. There have been worse draws, although we were now tapped horribly. Stupid thing has trample as well. I think we need to sacrifice Pilgrim's Eye to Deadly Dispute here. So I'm going to attack, pass, and then sacrifice the Pilgrim's Eye. Another Trampler. Guess we're just going to dump our hand here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so we can do it all. We can hold this back to block. Probably have to. Alright, go ahead. I mean, we just have like kind of a deck of cards. It doesn't really do much. Like we don't really have the power. If they remove our power, then we're just kind of stuck with a bunch of two drops and 1/1s and 2/2s. So this format is a little too powerful for what we brought to the table. There's a 4-mana 4/4. It is a dragon. And oh, look what it is. Can't use that anymore, so go ahead. Yep. At least this doesn't have trample. Good lord. Oh man. I mean, they're like not attacking, but it doesn't really matter because we're just drawing the rest of the lands in our deck. So like, I mean, who cares? Again, 5 lands on our last 17. Last time we had 5 lands in our last 20. So now we're going to have to deal with like a 10/6 and a 12/6 trampler. And all right, you know, this just wasn't our day. Was not our day. If you're still here, I'm sorry. But thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video. We do have our trophy playlist on the end screen or our last upload in case you missed it. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time for your daily draft.